is the coming of the main attraction. This is the coming of the main attraction.
Again with another great program. I've been getting positive responses on the show, and I want to thank all the viewers because it's actually, exactly what I said, your show. And without you involved, this show would be meaningless, And to start the topic off, and the title of the show today is called Generational Curses. I'm going to say it slow because it's so deep. Generational Curses. Generational curses, the reason why I picked that as a topic, because what I've noticed over my years and a couple of years, being on this planet, that some cultural ethics don't consist of any moralities or anything positive. It's almost like show the baby to do the stinking leg. Everybody applaud him for doing the stinking leg, but ask him, do he know a 1003 HUD statement? Ask him, do he know, or have you taught him debt to ratio income or LTVs or just stuff that they're going to be facing the rest of their life? So generational curses are definitely something that we should talk about. And again, callers, please call in. This is your show. I'm just a host, okay? And I'm really here to make sure that barbershop conversation or that salon talk or even that behind the bus conversation in the back of the bus, we're going to put it on blast right here on the What's Up Triangle show. You see the call-in number right there. Call in because we need to hear what each other are thinking. Because once we, can all brainstorm on the same diasporitic concept, we can probably do away with it altogether. So, one of the topics, I wanted to address on this generational curse concept is that was something very powerful that I heard Mark Twain say. And this ain't mine, this is Mark Twain. And Mark Twain said that the two most important times in your life are first when you're born and when you find out the reason why. Okay? And that was so powerful to me because a lot of people don't know why. Still don't know why. You weren't born to drink under a tree with your little shady tree friends. You weren't born to be a not at home dad. You weren't born to be an unwed mother. You know what I'm saying? When in actuality, all these things have to do with what you manifest about yourself. And a lot of people, have allowed the generational curses, again, to predict who they are when they never had a chance and their mother never had a chance. So instead of giving, information about, like I said, debt to ratio income, LTVs, let's say credit card, FICO scores, let's say, even down to just things that'll teach you how to be a better, bill payer and pay bills and monitor your finances. All these things have to be given from an elder concept, far as I'm concerned. Again, call in. While I'm talking, you can call in at any time because, again, this is your show. This is not mine. So basically, and that's what I haven't seen a lot of. And don't get me wrong, you see people that have exercised that, and especially the ones that actually, when their children are small, they'll get a credit card, and they'll use that credit card until the child is old enough to actually take on responsibilities. And then by the child is in high school, hell, the child got 630 Beacon scores, almost 700 flawless credit. And that's what certain parents do in reference to keep their child, above the rest. Or to keep them at least where they can survive without all of the extra. So again, generational curses, should be talked about more often than just today for this little hour. And then I did want to talk about the cultural ethics that's behind all of this. Because a lot of people like cultural ethics. What are you talking about? Cultural ethics is basically however you was raised, that's all you know. Just like the gentleman that went down in South Carolina and shot up that church because his daddy gave him a shotgun at 21. And I'm sure he gave him a message with that shotgun for the reasons why he went and did what he did. But, that's speculative, and that's my opinion. And at the end of the day, and when I saw how they treated him, they got him Burger King and treated him like a king after all of that terroristic activity. So you got to understand, when you're a judge, a lawyer, or even as a human being, you better start adding their cultural ethics. Because everything that boy was taught, he knew it was the truth, and that's all that mattered to him. And just like when we get into our inner cities, if mama was Section 8, daughter Section 8, then granddaughter Section 8, then grandson Section 8, what do you think it came from? It started from the beginning. You get what I'm saying? So I don't blame anyone for having humble beginnings, because hell, I come from humble beginnings. I'm talking about Section 8, all of that. And I thank God, in some cases for those assistants, because, moms had it rough. So, but, things are a lot better now, because of consistency and trying to break that curse of that Willie Lynch letter. You know what I'm saying? And that's another story, that Willie Lynch letter. Look it up. The Willie Lynch speech in 1712. I want you to look that up. Then you'll see some diabolical genius stuff that really looks very sinister, and it still works to this day. But again, cultural ethics. Cultural ethics are basically, like I said, what you've been taught. So a lot of people, weren't taught any better, or was taught to be a bigot. Because racism and racist doesn't mean, if you know what racist mean, that's not a bad word. That just means pro for your race. Study the history of it, just like atheist. Atheist means anti-Greek, for all those people who think it means he don't believe in God. Atheist means anti-Greek. Anti-Greek means that you can't believe in Jesus because the Greeks created him. You get what I'm saying? So it might seem like he didn't care about God, but Constantine created that Nicene Creed, thus creating that letter J. If you look up the Nicene Creed, you'll see how you got your name, Jesus, that you've been worshiping. It ain't been Yahshua. Because if you keep in mind, Yahshua was all they said, because there was no J's in the Mayan continent, there was no J's in the African continent, and there was no J's here, because even the Indians didn't use the letter J. So that was created to create that, that whole brainwash system that's been working for 1,400 years. So, getting back to cultural ethics, even the Christians. If you take a child, now if you go through the Bible will tell you constantly, come as you are. That means if you smoked today, if you didn't smoke today, if you drank today, if you didn't drink today, if you mustard, deodorant, whatever the case may be, God said it in the Word, come as you are. Man is the only one telling you don't come like that, put on a blazer, put some dressy shoes, all that. Why you got to go there when the Bible ain't said none of that? And then, and all of this is tied to this generational curses, because a lot of us are being fueled by that word that they don't know who made it. They keep thinking that God made it, but I guarantee you God didn't come down and say, now, one thing about, I made that book. Yeah, that me there. You see my name on the back? God ain't said none of that. And then, because even if God did write it, you're not following the proper scripts. You're keeping creating these generational curses. Churches. And then let's go to Hebrews chapter 5. Okay, now we finna get real warm and fuzzy. Chapter 5 through chapter 7 talks about a God called Melchizedek. They talked about Melchizedek again in Genesis chapter 5, if I believe. And they talked about him as a God there, God in Hebrews and a God in Revelations. They said he didn't have no mother, no father, no beginning, no ending. How often do you hear them talk about Melchizedek or his order? How? And these are church people I'm talking to, all church people. Hello, I want you to go to, because we're going to break some of these curses today, okay? And if you got any comments you want to make, feel free. We're waiting on your call. So let's go to Hebrews chapter 5 through chapter 7. Distinctively, Melchizedek set an order for the tribe of the Leviticus priesthood. Now, this is the word. This ain't me. This is the word. You follow the word. Oh, man, about 85% of the world follow right now. And if you read it, it is distinctively say these tithings that you're putting in the church every Sunday is supposed to be for two to three people max, groups of people. One is the tribe of the Leviticus priesthood and the tribe of Judah. And when you look up the tribe of the Leviticus priesthood and the tribe of Judah, guess what you see? You. You in the mirror, you melanated people, not the cursed people. Because if you go into your word again, Esau was cursed. It was never Jacob. So y'all running around here like you curse, can't even sit in a room with each other because somebody a Christian and another person might be a Nubian or a Hebrew Israelite, when in actuality, all of you wrong and right at the same time. Because at the end of the day, it wasn't for you to be, the devil divides. If there is anything called a devil, it's a divider. So once I can convince you, you know something he don't know and you know something he don't know, that automatically creates a dis-ease. And I say a dis-ease, like a disease in the body, where y'all can't communicate. So, getting back to Hebrews, you'll see that, the minister was supposed to storehouse the money. Listen, storehouse the money. That's how Black Wall Street got started. Storehouse the money so when it's needed to fix Miss Adam Mae Ruth, she could always come to the church and everybody would collectively come together. One on Habitat of Humanity, what they call it, Habitat for Humanity. It was just a bunch of church folks coming together to help that woman with her roof. Because the monies was there for the supplies and the love was there to make sure she was straight. That's breaking generational curses. And you can start reading your children books like the Willie Lynch Letter, Ivan Van Sertima's, the Book of Gilgamesh. You can read them a book like Geddes McGregor, The History of the Bible. I love that book because it actually showed the illiteracy that was going on in the 1400s and how there was limited schools worldwide. Because in the 1400s, you had to be either part of the clergy or part of the church or an elite family just to be educated. They said they found more evidence of them rolling up cigarettes with the pages in the Bible than actually read them. So again, when you study these words or this bread that they call the bread, you better find out if it's turning into sugar in your body and creating diabetes. Because at the end of the day, even down to the 5,000 fish, I want to get into that to break some of these generational curses. Even down to the 5,000 fish, you remember the 5,000 people that's supposed to eat this fish? And Jesus is supposed to had a big fish fry or something, and everybody had a piece of tilapia. Really, what they were really saying was the fish was Christianity. These were all Muslim people. And the actual food that he gave them was Christianity. The bread was the word. 10 seconds. Don't you always call the bread the word? And don't you always call Christianity the fish? And you see it on the back of the car, the little logo of the fish representing Christianity? So that would make more sense to me, you feeding 5,000 with 2 fish. And that means 2 Christians and the word of God. You get what I'm saying? And everybody ate Christianity because they were all Muslims, okay? And then once you study that, breaking generational curses, you'll see, if you look at history, the Arabs actually turned the heat up on the whole slave trade. Because the actual Queen of Spain and Ferdinand was given a gift by, I don't know, it wasn't Marco Polo, but it was a gentleman before Sir John Hawkins, and his son got on the ship Jesus in the Minion. It was it was before them. But just moral of the story, they were actually, put in a situation to, where they were given a gift. And the gift were 2 black people that worked hard and could work in the sun all day. And the queen said, okay, well, Dad, they work so hard. Go find the rest of the cannibals. And I assumed it was cannibals that she put the order out for, cannibals. She didn't say go get happy people that's living in a village happily, all that. She said just get all of the quote unquote bad out of all that good, and we'll turn them into what we need to turn them into. The Arabs, and I say the Arabs turned up on the whole idea and started picking up everybody. You get what I'm saying? And you can't exclude that Gold Coast that was given to the Congolesian gentleman, Ferdinand, because Ferdinand was responsible for like those couple million slaves, not slaves, but tribe members, the Congolesians, being killed. He was the one that started to cutting the hands off because they didn't bring in enough crops that day. Now this is Leopold. I want y'all to look up Leopold. All these are just some evil people, man. But all of them had a word. All of them believed in King James's version, and all of them actually, forced it on you. So when you go through that Bible, I want you to know that Bible got a lot to do with the generational curses that we deal with today. Okay? Now, again, I don't expect everybody to believe what I'm saying. I actually expect everybody to research what I'm saying. Because research make a genius out of you, tell the truth. But speculative and just being judgmental make make a donkey out of you. I ain't gonna say the word because y'all know I'm good. You know what I'm saying? So, again, I'm gonna lay off the Bible for a minute because I'm trying to, get some people to call in and quote unquote defend that word. Because all these churches running around here, there got to be somebody out there watching this show that can comment on that word and defend their word. Because at the end of the day, you studied like I studied. I pulled out what I pulled out. Tell me what you pulled out. Okay? And then another thing we got to get into with this generational curses is the ACE study. And I'm going to talk about the ACE study. Let me tell you what the ACE study is. Do you know, if you didn't know, or I'm going to tell you right now. If you didn't know before, I'm going to tell you now. The ACE study is very simple. Everybody that's taking mental health medication right now, okay? They say 85% of everyone taking mental health medication right now, they did a study, okay? And the study was done by doctors, clinicians, physicians, and all of this. And it was amazing, the findings that they found. They found out that 85% of mental health patients had a sexual trauma between birth and 18. Yes, generational curses, don't forget the topic. So this is schizophrenic, bipolar, manic depression. This is sleep apnea, even down to some obesity. All of these people that's taking this medication or trying, especially mental medication, and it's mostly about mental medication, had a sexual trauma. So when I studied trauma-informed and behavioral studies, because I got my certificate in behavioral studies, working with kids with autism and people, that's dealt with sexual traumas, I realized that, number one, dealing with generational curses, what blew me away with the homosexual population pertaining to this subject, the ACE study, is that in my studies, I found out, now Georgia was the flagship. I learned all of this in Georgia. In my studies, I found out that homosexuals have a higher rate of suicide. And out of all the people, black, green, gray, purple, Indian, you name it, homosexuals in this study have a higher rate of suicide, of just bona fide killing themselves. So me personally, in the beginning, before all of this gay marriage stuff and all of this came out and everything, I had an issue with it, but it wasn't through a biblical sense. It was through a reproductive sense. Because, I used to say, myself, I was like, if you want to be pure gay, and I say pure gay, I used to, be sarcastic and be like, well, how about I have two women and two men moving together, in the house, and whichever one had the first kid, that kid will be held as the prodigal son. But if don't no children come out of those relationships, you are doing a disservice to whom God you serve, whomever that is. Because every god, from Krishna, Sargon, Dionysus, and all of them, commented about reproduction and how important it was. And how you should fertilize the world and things of that nature to please God. So, just to put that out there, like I said, don't believe anything I say. Just do your research, and when you find out it's true, just come back with an intelligent comment, okay? The phones is out there, y'all, 678-536-3072. Call in now, because I want to hear your comments, because it ain't, again, my show. This show is the People's Channel. It couldn't be a better word for it, the People's Channel. Because if you don't call in pertaining to your views and opinions, you've never been heard. And, and if you've never been heard, things probably will stay the same. in your little world or whatever. But it's always good to get that off your chest, and that's what I'm here for. So to add to the generational curses, I got a couple of little passages I want to stay on, but I want to talk about a gentleman, number one. By me coming here to Durham, back home to Durham, after a few years of living in Atlanta and abroad, I learned that, even in Atlanta, United States, and all over, it's so hard for us to find some man, black male role model to look up to. And I thought about it. I thought it was Bill Cosby, but then here it is. They digging up stuff he did when he was in his 40s and he 90. And I could have sworn there was a statute of limitation when it come to whatever you did. I know it is when they do it. Do you get what I'm saying? And then looking at the news and media pertaining to generational curses, why ain't no quote unquote white people doing anything? If you look at, and I know I'm gonna get some callers on this. I look at the news personally, and I don't see no Caucasian people committing no crimes, robbing nobody, killing nobody, got shot this week. I just see all my people being portrayed as the bad guy or the undesirables. You watch the movies, black guy the first one get killed. Hell, they killing two now in a row in the beginning of the movie. It used to be one. Now it's like two. So I'm just like, what is going on, media? We can powder coat, sugar coat things, but that's why I got this show. Because even down to the actors that's out here now and the people that we look up to, everybody looking fruity. Don't nobody look strong like back in the day with the real Shaft. You get what I'm saying? And Isaac Hayes and Fred, what was the guy name? That used to run with Richard Pryor. All them dudes, man, they was strong, they was firm, and they was about their business. But now look at, the males, the black male role models in the media going to generational curses. Y'all are letting them do anything to you. They putting dresses on you right now. And ain't nobody saying nothing. And I saw this documentary called Hidden Colors. And there was a professor in there talking about how there was a gentleman that wrote a book probably about 30 years ago. And he's from Morris Brown. He talked about how in the year 2000 that black men would be wearing dresses. Dresses, yo. And I see how everybody is like cool with the pants hanging down and showing their drawers and the skid marks. And I find that grotesquely embarrassing for one. And if you're a woman walking with your man and his pants hanging down his butt, that make you and your whole family look damned. I said damned. In other words, like y'all ain't going nowhere, he ain't going nowhere because, he selling ass, it look like to me. Because where I come from, you know what I mean, men still wear belts. You get what I'm saying? Men still carry themselves with the mission in mind and the mission at hand. It ain't never been no mission to defame yourself. So men with your pants hanging off your butt, stop those generational curses because your children see you, your grandchildren see you. And when you run around here looking like an undesirable, that's all they think of you and your whole family. They want you off this planet. So start caring about how you represent your family and how, they are represented when you're away. So, I definitely wanted to touch on that, man, because that pants hanging off the butt thing, man, is just crazy to me because Lil Wayne ain't no hero. Jay-Z ain't no hero. Drake ain't no hero. Heroes come and save the day. Let me say that again. Heroes come and save the day. Or they're more proactive than these fake heroes that y'all got all tripping because they done got the TV on lockdown. Now that the TV's on lockdown, just because they pushing this garbage out of the radio station and going around buying up all the DJs and Brian Dawson, everybody, you know what I mean, is playing the propaganda machine. No one is doing anything based off of the community and the talents in the community. You get what I'm saying? That's going on in Atlanta too. You hear the same song 40, 50 times over and over again, and ain't nobody calling saying nothing. But they'll cut you off in traffic and try to kill you. But don't see you playing Ludacris, lick you from your head to your toe, taking your kids to school in the morning. That don't bother you. Generational curses. Then you're seeing all of these students. I went to Clark graduation this year. You're seeing all of these students graduate. And I'm talking about by the tons. I'm talking about all of these black colleges, which half of them are supported by Rockefeller's money, just so they can control the curriculum. And when you graduate, you never come back home. So that ain't stopped working. That's still working. So I'm sitting there watching all of these beautiful black children graduate with all these masters in mathematics and in degrees in science and biology. And something hit me so hard. I said, ain't none of them going back to their community. All of them are being bought out by the system to make them richer while they sit back and, come back through Durham on homecoming talking about what I got. But the community is still starving. Your people are still starving. Grandma who fought and knitted those sweaters and whatever, or sold those sodas or whatever to get you to that point, she didn't get you to there for y'all to stay there. She got you there so you can come back and bring knowledge. Because iron sharpen iron, steel sharpen steel, and each one teach one. But nowadays with the PlayStation and with these phones that you can stay in all day, ain't nobody studying nobody in my community. And that's sad because it's our own people. So generational curses must stop immediately. You get what I'm saying? Because it's only hurting us, people. And if we keep acting like ain't nothing really happening, or that wasn't my kid over there got killed, or that wasn't my son that broke in that house. Yes, it was. Yes, it was. Because anything done, a group of people only treat another group of people how they treat themselves. I'm going to say it again. Groups of people or individual groups of people only treat that group how they treat each other. You see what I'm saying? So, I look at all these black salons, okay? All of these black barbershops. Why aren't we collectively supporting those shops and allowing these people to benefit of opening the business to be here for us? You go way across town to get your hair cut, or way across town to get your hair did because you think you like the je ne sais quoi or the ambiance, when in actuality you ain't doing nothing but giving your money and sending it right back out of the community. When you look at Black Wall Street, the money circulated 3,000 times sometimes in the community and never left. Because everybody was spending the money with Miss Addie Mae, Miss Gentry over there, Miss Harris over there. All of them spent money with each other to make sure everybody had. But now everybody is on this island concept and killing the whole group, the majority, through these generational curses. So I say this, people, are you tired of being tired? Are you tired of complaining about your people and how they acting? Start looking in the mirror and change these generational curses, because they're not going to change until you change your own. Hell, I had to change mine. It's a few viewers out there that know me and know I've changed. And this show don't represent that, just my mannerism and demeanor now. Because there was a time when, I was totally unconscious. And it took for me to keep asking these same questions. Why is this? Why we're never getting, over the hump? You know what I'm saying? Why am I still hanging with the same group of guys? And, we all ain't acquired anything, except a bunch of charges and time. You get what I'm saying? So I had to, listen to my spirit. And then the only way you can hear your spirit is if you clean your temple. You got to clean your temple. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about have a moment where it's just no beer, no weed, no cigarettes, no nothing. You have to do a spiritual cleansing. Because once you do that spiritual cleansing, it'll help you sort out the things that you've been vaguely, ignoring. But I want to talk about something good other than the generational curses. But call in. You see the number. The number's there. Call in if you got any questions. I want to talk about a gentleman. Everybody in this city I've had a chance to talk to, Jim Suit is a joke at the gang reduction program. I'm going to say it very clear. Jim Suit is a joke. They got this guy over from Arkansas running our gang reduction program that don't care no more about them kids and don't have no, how could I say, action plan for the children with all of that money he's giving every day down at the Criminal Justice Center. You get what I'm saying? It's almost like you say any word to them or anything pertaining to helping the kids out, they want to steal your intellectual property. And I called Jim Suit out. I called out Norma Washington, which she was real good, the city manager's secretary. I gave her a letter when I first got here trying to stop these generational curses or at least be a platform to discuss it. And it didn't take nothing but for one word to come from Jim. Jim don't even know Durham. Jim don't even know the struggle of the people in Durham. He was hired to ignore Durham, okay? So you need to vote him out or talk to the city about Jim Suit because he's not doing his job. And I say Jim Suit, Criminal Justice Building, downtown Durham. I said it, I met him personally. But I want to speak about this individual who I was just speaking about change. Because again, if I was still the same, I wouldn't be on TV right now trying to get everybody to call in and try to discuss these issues. Because the first thing to recovery is discussion. So for me and the Spirit to help me create this platform, you know, I'm very impressed. And I'm very impressed to talk about this brother who I heard everything opposite till I actually sat down and did my homework on this brother. Otis Lines. Look at what this brother doing around here. This is the magazine. And I know y'all know, you know, our past and how we used to do things and, you know, when we were unconscious. But this brother is really doing a lot of work. This is the magazine right here. I want y'all to pay attention to and be on the lookout for. This brother is taking money out of his pocket, literally helping the children in Durham, having them go around helping the senior citizens, clean up the city. I mean, is doing a wonderful job at making sure these boys got things to do. Because I remember when I was younger, we had the John Avery Boys Club. We had all of these boys clubs and stuff that we could go to and that would keep us out of trouble. But now it seemed like the budget was cut for the black men to have something to do after school. So now it's taking individuals like Mr. Lyons here to do things and to still, you know, advocate for something for these children to do. So I commend this brother because since I've been here, I ain't seen nobody turned up like this. You get what I'm saying? And literally still stand on top of it. And from I gather, 15 years still moving forward. At the end of the day, you know, everybody ain't everybody's cup of tea. Do you get what I'm saying? But if you're proactive, you all right with me, okay? So I'll give you a shout out, Mr. Lyons. Keep up the good work. Don't worry about them haters. Because my grandma say you collect them haters because they the few you need to your future, brother. So keep up the good work with these kids in this magazine, and I'll support you. How about that? So at the end of the day, we need to be more supportive to our community, to the children, and we need to pay more attention to what they're talking about because they are the future. You know, when you care more about paying the bills and getting food on the table, you better find out who you feeding, what's on their mind. You know what I'm saying? And put that PlayStation up at least long enough to find out what they doing, how they grades. So, you know, getting back to the generational curses, again, it's your call-in talk show. Feel free to call in. It's been a little quiet today, but that's rare because all the other shows, the phone was ringing off the hook. So I guess I get to, you know, say my piece. And as you see, I ain't got no problem talking. So getting back to the generational curses, I want to talk about one other subject, and is empowerment destruction. Now, we've had an empowerment and regentrification revamp this city like a typhoon. If you look around, you'll see a lot of changes in the city of Durham. But then if you go down, oh my God, Austin Avenue, you know what I'm saying, from one end to the other, ain't been no changes. You get what I'm saying? Except when you pass Central. Then I'm wondering, did that empowerment gentrification have anything to do with the locals who've been here and that's always been here? Because like I said on my last show, I said it's almost like watching a guy with a brand new suit on coming down the street. Wow, that man look good. But imagine if he took a bath, all right? And you seen him like, hey, he look good. And when he get up on you, like, what that smell? That's what I thought about when I came home after 16 years of being gone. I came back and I was like, wow, it looks good, but it still got that same stench because the city, municipal, is not doing right by the people. You know what I mean? And they taking care of all of the visitors and I'm inviting all of these international influence, but ain't doing nothing for the people that's been here. You know, and I was disappointed. And I'm going to empowerment, regentrification, destruction. Like my personal experience here. Holloway Street School, my elementary, destroyed. Houghton Middle School, my middle school, was destroyed. Hey, Ms. Newton, that's a joke. All right. Merrick Moore, the school that my mom and them talk about all the time, Merrick Moore, destroyed. Durham High School, where I went to high school at, destroyed. Black Wall Street, they trying to finish it off now. Destroyed. Thank God I went to this conference here recently where I actually got a chance to come in and meet some of the people that's trying to resurrect that whole idea of burying back Black Wall Street, which that's quite impossible. Because if it wasn't for Black Wall Street, if it wasn't for Mr. Fitzgerald and C.C. Spalding and all of the gentlemen that actually, and the sharecroppers and the businessmen that came together back then, Durham would not be here if it wasn't for Hayti. Let me just say Hayti. If it wasn't for Hayti, Durham would not be here. Whoever you are that's living in Durham, okay? And this show ain't just specifically about Durham, but Durham brought in a lot of merchants, brought in a lot of products back in the day, and people shopped in Durham all the time. But now they're sending all the energy to Briar Creek. They're sending all the energy to Chapel Hill and Cary and all of this. And, you know, that's why I'm not a big fan of the mayor here, because I don't see no progress for the lesser of the better. Like I was getting into Melchizedek earlier, chapter 5 through 7, when they talked about how you tied to the lesser of the better or the widower. You get what I'm saying? And if we're trying to emulate what needs to be done for the community, we're doing a shitty job. Excuse my French. We're doing a real bad job right now. And yes, you see buildings. Yes, you see the courthouse done got 3 times bigger. And there, it's new jails, it's new judges, and it's new crimes. You get what I'm saying? And there's new money being made at that jailhouse, but I don't see nobody actually celebrating and happy that they represent Durham and prospering in this city. Like all the rest of the cities, like a Charlotte. And you see other cities like, you know, I can't compare it to Atlanta, but College Park is small. Like College Park. You know, stuff like that. These people are eating. So, you know, a whole lot of times y'all need to, when you out there voting, you better know who you're voting for. And stop following people like a herd, like a cattle. Because at the end of the day, you're going to realize these people have been destroying your city and your history on your watch. Okay? So again, 678-536-3072. Call in, callers. Because at the end of the day, this is your show. And once you call in and let us know exactly what's on your mind, you know, it's a beautiful thing, honestly. Because once you can let everybody know what's on your mind, you know, I guess you feel better, because I know I would feel better personally. You know, especially if I've been sitting thinking about this stuff and I hear me speak and I either agree or disagree or agree to disagree. You know, it's always good to hear from somebody other than the host. Okay? And another thing that if I didn't mention, for all the businesses in Durham, maybe bars, salons, well, I try not to do bars. I say salons, restaurants, and anybody that's starting a new business. Again, I say this pathetically. This is your show. So feel free to come in, restaurant, show a couple of dishes off, that's fine. Explain your dishes, tell the world where you at, where you're located. Again, we're the People's Channel. Again, this is not Jay Rillish Channel. Okay, this is the What's Up Triangle. So if you're anywhere in these demographics or this triangle, this show is yours. Okay? So again, I'm waiting for someone to call in to, you know, comment on the topic, but, you know, I won't hold my breath. But one thing about it, we got a lot of shaping up to do, Triangle. And this ain't just a black thing or inner city thing. This is a village thing, you know, because when you look at it, we all really running into each other every day. We just probably don't know each other's name or probably don't know each other's title or even probably remember each other's faces or cars. But we are one big giant village. No different than Africa, no different than anywhere else you probably go. But if you got a chance to get to know your village and know your town, you'll realize it's brothers like Talib Graves that's creating, him and some young brothers that have graduated from school and came back to Durham to resurrect Black Wall Street. Young men, and I'm proud of those brothers too. And like Professor Toon, spoke to him, met them. I met Mr. Weems Jr. I want to thank you, Mr. Weems, for Venture Management out of Raleigh. A very sharp Caucasian gentleman that I definitely had a great time talking to him. I think we spoke for like an hour or two at the conference, him and his wife. He's truly a Superman. That's his nickname now, Superman. Then, of course, I ran into what is it, Adrian Williams? Mr. Adrian Williams, he actually has created a chemical company here and about to do some hiring around here. Another young brother doing big things here. I actually had a chance to meet Miss Keisha Williams of the marketing department at North Carolina Central, and these were just some great people, you know. So please know that we need to shine a light on a lot of these people because they're doing phenomenal things with minimal attention, because I think most of them wouldn't care even about having it, but they're taking care of a lot of people and have a lot of people in mind. So to say that, prevent these generational curses by going out here meeting the people in these departments, going out there to the city hall, going to the plat room. And that's another thing for all those people who keep going to realtors for answers for their property issues and for their home issues. It's easy. Won't you just go down to the plat room at the city hall, find out where the house is located, find out the owners, and talk to the owners. I know realtors gonna hate this, but y'all will be all right. But we need to start sending some of that money and let it work for the person who has the money. Because a lot of times with these generational curses, we're giving these loans that we were given to someone who's not going to do a better job than you could do just by doing your homework. Okay? And I tell everybody, study to show yourself approved, because when you study FHA, VA, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, non-conforming loans versus conforming loans, quick claim deeds, again, debt to ratio income, even down to REOs. Wholesale REOs are basically properties that are sold about 100, sometimes 50 at a time, 100 at a time, yada, yada. Most of the times it'd be hedge fund groups that purchase these homes. But again, a hedge fund group ain't nothing but a bunch of people that came together with a nice little piece of change and decided to put it all together, use that money as the deposit on some real big money, and use the money that they're borrowing to create a great environment and create wealth for themselves at the same time of creating home, shelter, and food concepts. So again, this is your show, people. You know, and if you need any advice or anything, you know, pertaining to your real estate ideas, and you know you can own two properties. A lot of people don't even know that. You can own a non-owner occupancy property and a property that you live in. And a lot of people don't know that. They think, I'm going to just get a house and then I'm going to get a house. No, you can get two. Because if they give you a loan for $130,000 and you tell them you're going to stay in one and you want a non-owner occupancy property, just make sure you're talking to the right bank, because there are programs like that. And then another thing to prevent the generational curses in the real estate game. Let's say hypothetically you've given $200,000 or $250,000 for a home, okay? And let's say your grandma left you a home, and you know you've been blessed because she left it to you, whatever. You still got that approval. I tell everybody, create wealth. You know, and it's health before wealth, but in this real estate comment, it's about wealth right now. And what you can do with that same $250,000, you can go out here to one of those resort areas, Lake Tahoe, Hampton, not Hampton, what is that? Hampton Beach is out here on the coast, Hilton Head, Nags Head, all of that stuff. Look for one of those beautiful island properties that's probably like 2.6 million. Or I'll say 2.1 million. Do you know that $240,000 is a down payment for that $2.6 million property that you can rent out 6 months out of the year and go in and chill in it for the other 6 months, and it pays itself off? Oh yeah, see, they ain't gonna tell you that. See, because y'all don't realize the bank is not in the real estate business. They're in the money business. So if you're smart with the money, they give you as much as you want, and you can do what you want to with it pertaining to a property. So again, that's what a lot of people are doing now. They're taking that $250,000, $300,000 loan, going to a $3 million property, that's 10% to get you secured into that $3 million property. Then you immediately find you a travel agent or someone that can actually post that property to give you an exit strategy and have you to create capital renting out the property year round. You can either stay in it for them 6 months after it's already been paid off for the year, or you can literally stay out of it and let those other 6 months come in your pocket, reap benefits, thus giving you the peace you need and the freedom you need and the vehicle you need to drive and the trips you need to go on. So again, I'm here for you. I'm only the host, Jay Rillis. And actually, I'm glad it has been a little quiet today because it's the first show it's been this quiet. So only thing I can say is people, generational curses will be the death of us, Black Wall Street. Now I'm talking to y'all now. It will be the death of us if we don't come together. And when you see that black man over there, you need to see your uncle, your grandfather, your brother, your cousin, all the people that you love of that male gender. And men, when you see women, black women, you need to see your sister, your grandma, your auntie, with that same respect. Because with the media shooting movies like The Empire, supporting all of that homosexuality and deviance and no real concept of this is what reality is like, because reality ain't like Empire. I just want to clear that up for you right now. That ain't nothing but a spinoff from Everybody Know It, from the Hustle and Flow. You get what I'm saying? That's why the movie became so big, because it started out with those humble beginnings in the beginning when they ain't had nothing. And then they was like, how can we bring that back and capitalize off of it? They brought them same two together again. That wasn't no big secret. But at the end of the day, you don't, quote unquote, become so large you forget your community. Because in that whole program, I ain't seen nobody going back to the community, giving them nothing. I seen them all stand to my what they got, what they doing, how they gonna be all right out here, and how the new producer gonna be dude, and he just as selfish, and if he ain't got a rainbow, he ain't looking out for you, you either. So I say all that to say, stop these generational curses. You know what I'm saying? Be proud of your heterosexual families. Be proud of your heterosexual children, and let them know nothing is wrong with them. They are right on the right track, because with the deviance that's being pushed, it's almost like what's right is wrong and what's wrong is right now. And with knowing that, if we don't put our feet down and come together now, you know what I'm saying, as the Christian, as the Muslim, as the atheist, as the store clerk owner, you know what I'm saying, we're all dealing with the same diasporic issues. So we're going to have to start talking sooner or later. Or it might just be too late, But the only way we can find that out is if we never come together. So this platform is here. Come on in, people. This is the What's Up Triangle Show, okay? And at the end of the day, with these generational curses topics, guess what? They all can be resurrected and healed. All of this stuff that I named today can be all fixed and changed if we want that change. Because you gotta look at it like this here. The body, I truly believe, is a planet. Okay, you got white cells, you got red cells. You got all kind of stuff going on in the body. It's more fluids than it is muscle. And it's almost like a planet. But it always come together every day, don't it? To get you to work, to get you back home, to get you, to cleanse your body out of the sickness, it works. So if your body can come together, why can't the bodies come together? You get what I'm saying? And with all these churches, I'm going to get back to these churches. Why is all this hurt going on in Durham with all of these churches running around here getting rich every Sunday, but you don't see them in the street Monday through Friday? It should be a program every day with a new church talking about what they're going to do for the community. Because again, Melchizedek said it's for the lesser of the better. And he also said it's for the Leviticus priesthood and the tribe of Judah and the Leviticus priesthood. And he also said, if the minister does not storehouse that money, he should be stoned in the street. Okay, this is what your words say that you go to every Sunday, stopping generational curses. Why is this God telling you to stone this man in the street? Because this man is robbing you blind. Okay, these men of the cloth that don't have your best interest are literally robbing you blind, people. So you might want to, if he's not writing you a check, you might want to stop writing him one. And that's really my motto. If he's not writing you a check, you might need to stop writing him one, because everybody go through it. But he ain't going through nothing, but except the mall, getting a new suit for next Sunday. So I say all this to say, now if you want to defend your church, and if you want to bring your church on here and comment about the work y'all do for people outside y'all church that ain't members, feel free to come on in here and speak. But if you want to come in here and talk about what you only doing for just your members, that'll be a waste of my time and your time. Because anybody in my house, I'm going to take care of them in my house. But anybody that the Bible says the widower and the lesser of the better are the ones that I'm referring to. Okay? So we need to start, actually pointing out the garbage, seeing that that's what that is, seeing the repetitiveness of the garbage, and try our best to change it in our own kind of way. Because individually, you can't get nothing done. See, with this finger, I can't get nothing done. This finger, I can't get nothing done. This finger, I probably can get a couple things done. But with this fist, I can get a lot done. Because this fist demands unity, demands power. And with this fist, you can get more done with a finger. So let's make that fist, people. Real talk. And stop these generational curses. Because at the end of the day, it's only hurting our family, our faces in the media worldwide, and our children, and what they think of us. And when we do these things and not thinking the kids are watching, wait 20, 30 years later when they worse than you. You get what I'm saying? Because now we got to worry about the Percocet babies now. The Xanax baby, the Percocet babies. Boy, you think these crack babies gone. Whoo, boy. Wait till these Percocet babies. They probably be standing in the middle of the street in a diaper shooting an AK. So at the end of the day, watch your children. Stop blaming the neighbors. Stop even using the blame game, period. Because at the end of the day, parents, you're responsible for your children. You're responsible for their pants hanging down. You're responsible for the C's and D's they bringing home. You're responsible, okay? So quit blaming the youth, and the youth don't understand, and the youth, they didn't get here on their own. They got here by two people coming together to say they in love or they in like. And then y'all cut them off because y'all cut each other off. How is that a great future for the city of Durham or the Triangle, period? So again, I say all this to say, keep watching your eyes out for the sheep's and the wolves and sheep clothing, because there's a ton of them around there, and there's a ton of them running around your church. And watch out for this pedophilia in the black family too, because don't nobody want to talk about that either. Because you wouldn't have these steady effects if there wasn't pedophilia in the family. Okay? So all of that, don't go around Uncle Gentry or go around Uncle Greg. No, you better send Greg to jail. You feel me? And everybody collectively better enjoy that whole mission. And then all of that protecting the pedophile and leaving the child behind. I know a few of my friends were destroyed by their mother's crack addiction, their father's pedophilia, and all of that in Durham. So, generational curses must stop. And I'm going to do this again because y'all too quiet out there, and I love it. Because when you're quiet like that, that means you're thinking. So at the end of the day, this is Generational Curses 1. I probably got 5 minutes left on air. But I totally enjoyed the time that I had with you today. Hopefully, you can call in next week because we do this every week, live, on air. And if you have any questions or anything pertaining to the show, how you can get on it, how you can actually promote your business, how you can actually prevent generational curses, call that number. Because that number is not only just working while the show is going on, it's actually working when the show is not. So don't be surprised the secretary pick it up or somebody, just leave them your information and somebody will be in touch with you. Just say, hey, this message is for Jay Rillis. I want him to yada yada give me a call at my business. My business number is this, that. We want to promote or we want to quote unquote speak about some of the topics he'd be addressing. And we can get ahead of it, meet an hour before the show, and then bring it to the people. Because again, this is the people's channel. So, again, I totally enjoy what I do. I hope you guys enjoy the topics that I bring up, in reference to the things that people don't want to talk about, And I feel good knowing that, somebody was touched today. The Spirit let me know that now. And I'm not a Christian man. I tell you that now. I'm not a Muslim man. But I'm a man that believes in there's a spirit. Because just like I don't run off batteries, I believe that. And I believe that, within these last 5 minutes, somebody going to call. And I know when they call, I'm going to let them have the last 5 minutes all to themselves. But even if they don't, call when the show is off because you might not want to be heard. We got a lot of people that, I heard that one of a human being's biggest fears to stand in front of this camera on a podium and speak to people. And I find it the total opposite. Anybody that know me know I've never been afraid of the big bad wolf. If anything, he don't exist as far as I'm concerned. But again, generational curses, watch out for them. Make sure that you're not passing the same negative information to your children that was passed to you. May it be verbal tones, may it be comments or statements you may make, in haste or upset. Just make sure that you keep that somber feeling, of that empathy. Not sympathy, but keep some empathy in your heart, because you'll be amazed. Somebody else is going through something, that you might not even have a clue about, and it might be a little deeper than yours. So, and for my people that's on mental medication, I want to say this to you. You are not your illness. I'm going to say it again. You are not your illness. Because a lot of people, they come to me, yeah, Jay, I'm bipolar. You're not bipolar. Your name is Greg Walker. You're not bipolar. That's just a dis-ease in your body. And there's ways of curing it permanently where it will go away. All right, via group, and I'm talking about without medication, because for a minute there I thought I needed medication. Then I realized, and this is what I tell everybody. Before you take medication to prevent these generational curses, before you take medication, please make sure you're not living with an a-hole. I said it, I'm going to say it again. Before you take any medication around you in your house, or you with the same people every day and they getting on your nerve, make sure you don't live with a butthead that's driving you crazy. Because a lot of times the people beside us will make us think we're not doing them a good service, and then we give so much of ourselves to them. When they don't respond, we go into a slump of some kind, like we were wrong or did something wrong. In a lot of cases, that be the person you beside. 3 minutes left on the show. I just want to thank, Bull City, always. I love y'all, real talk. This show would not exist if I didn't love on my city, okay? Chapel Hill, I love what you did this weekend for Halloween. That was a beautiful turnout. I want to just give a shout out to Chapel Hill because they know how to party. You know what I mean? And when I say they know how to party, they don't be no crazy stuff. They just get out in the street and they just actually network, because everything is relationships. And I'm talking about in school, there's a relationship with the teacher. At work, there's a relationship with the boss. You got to harness these relationships, because you can't make anything happen for yourself without a great relationship. And you need to learn how to enjoy life, okay? Because everybody be talking about, yeah, when I get the big house or when the kids get out of school. No, you better enjoy the journey. And I heard this gentleman that I mostly don't agree with, but I'm going to go and say T.D. Jakes. He made that comment today, and I'm going to say I don't agree with him, but this is one time I did. And he made a good point. He was like, don't wait until you get, quote unquote, the monies. Enjoy your family now. Enjoy life now. Because at the end of the day, it's always going to be a bill waiting on you and some drama waiting on you. All right? So love on your family, love on yourself. And you know what I'm saying? Look in the mirror sometime and tell yourself, I love you. Because ain't nobody else going to do it. All right? We got 1 minute left on the show. Again, I'm Jay Rillis, a.k.a. Jeffrey Harris. All right, DHS, what's up? Even though I know they tore it down, but they ain't tear us down. You get what I'm saying? Bull City, what's up? Few Garden, what's up? You already know what it is. If any questions y'all have, please call into the show. Again, this is your show. And I'm so glad you was quiet this time, because I got what I was trying to say off anyway. Thank you, viewers, and call in, please, because again, this is your show. All right? And it was a pleasure being here for the 6th show. And we'll be back next week. And thank you. And watch out for them generational curses. Okay? All right? Thank you for tuning in.
This is a coming of the main attraction. This is a coming of the main attraction.